Hello, my darlings. This is my all-time favorite, I confess, part of the story. I know I have a lot of favorites, but this truly is. This is the part where we take our ahas, or building blocks, which got us almost en route to making our contribution. But close, but no cigar. You see, if you're anything like me, my ahas, told me why I was stuck, why I felt invisible, why I couldn't speak for a source of suffering, even when I wanted to. But it didn't help me show me how to get unstuck. That's where this piece of the story comes in. I love it. Part of the problem, I believe, if you'll bear with me for just a minute or two, is that the ahas that I had, those 5 ahas, they represented, when I peeled the onion back at the heart, at the core, those were very young, very frozen, very stuck, very fragmented pieces of myself. How do I unstick them? How do I help them grow? How do I integrate those pieces so I can be on my way to making a real contribution, so I can speak for the world's water crisis? Well, part of the problem is that when you say to your very young self, as your older self, darling, don't you understand? Your greatest source of suffering is often your greatest source of a contribution. The little 6-year-old in me goes, boring, or talk to the hand. They don't like lectures. Kids, well, we respond to games. We respond to superpower heroes and superpowers. So I'm going to ask of you if you would be kind enough to play a game with me. This game is critical because it gives ourselves permission to clear our old invisibility story. Let me give you an example of what I mean based on my old story. Remember, my last big aha, probably got me to graduate school, was when the world's water crisis came knocking at my door. I said, go away. I've got nothing. Go pick on some nice extrovert. Back then, I couldn't give my own suffering a voice, let alone lend it to a source of suffering as dark, as deep, with such gravitas as the world's water crisis. How dare I? I couldn't give my own injustice words, let alone anybody else's. Now here's where I'm stuck. I have a clear-cut choice. I can continue to give myself excuse after excuse as to why I have no voice, why I can't speak up. Or I can clear that old story by giving myself permission, a permission slip to create fresh possibilities. Rewrite that tired old ending. Are you ready? Let's play a game. The game is it possible? It's a make-pretend game. Please play along with me. Is it possible? Just possible. Those of us who grew up without visibility, without a voice of our own, well, we have a secret superpower we don't even know we own. What is that secret superpower, you may ask? Wait for it. Our secret superpower is invisibility. Invisibility. That's right. You see, I believe those of us without a voice of our own, we are uniquely qualified who grew up invisible. We are uniquely qualified. We are highly motivated. We can be the most effective speakers for a source of suffering that cannot speak for itself. Precisely because who knows better than we do what it feels like to be completely incapable of giving suffering, of giving injustice a voice. Now, if you're anything like me, you might be saying, oh, this is really fantastic. We grew up invisible. Our superpower is invisibility. Wow, how lucky can you get? Can you explain that a little more detailed? I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to explain how this works. You see, those of us who grew up feeling invisible, without a voice of our own, well,